Chapter 61. Darling, since we're all in agreement about staying here, perhaps I can take charge of your witchcraft and divination lessons, Morticia said, gliding toward Wednesday. I'm not opposed to you teaching me witchcraft, Wednesday replied, but I fail to see how you'll teach me about my psychic abilities. You're a dove, I'm a raven. Our paths differ, Mother. Tyler listened quietly from the corner. I'm only filling in until your new spirit guide arrives, darling, Morticia said smoothly. Besides, I do have experience with ravens. Wednesday studied her, eyes narrowing. Are you referring to your sister, Ophelia? You've never been forthcoming about her. For a moment, something flickered across Morticia's face. Wednesday sensed it was a touchy subject and decided to let it rest. I need some air, she said, turning for the door. Tyler didn't follow. By now, he knew there were moments when Wednesday needed to be alone. Wednesday and Thing walked beneath a patchwork sky, sunlight slicing through the trees in sharp, judgmental beams. Thing perched on her shoulder, twitching with restless curiosity. They stopped at the sight ahead, a blue van surrounded by police tape. The air smelled faintly of iron and feathers. A murder of crows lay scattered across the ground, their wings splayed like broken ink stains. Officers moved briskly, loading a body onto a stretcher. The corpse's eyes were missing. Wednesday's mouth curved faintly. Charming. They left the best part out of the brochure. Sheriff Santiago, a stern woman in mirrored sunglasses, turned at the sound of her voice. Miss Addams, you can't be here. Step back. Curiosity is a compulsion, not a choice, Sheriff Santiago. Wednesday said, ignoring her. I promise to be better than my predecessor, she said. There's an exceptionally low bar. Wednesday retorted. That's when she saw him, a hooded man standing behind the police line, watching too long, too still. His posture was too familiar to ignore. Thing pointed, tapping her collar twice. Wednesday slipped away from the path and followed. The man glanced back, startled, then bolted into the trees. She didn't hesitate, her shoes barely disturbed the leaves as she gave chase. Within moments, she caught him, using her knee and momentum to pin him down. The hood fell back. Galpin, she said flatly. I should have guessed. Donovan's face was pale and lined with exhaustion. That victim was a friend of mine. We were working a case together before I got pushed out. He thought he'd found something that might threaten all outcasts. Since when do you care about outcasts? She asked coldly. My son is one, he said. Marilyn Thornhill turned him into a monster. Had you told him the truth instead of hiding it, perhaps you wouldn't be here skulking in the woods, Wednesday replied. He's at Nevermore for now. If you have the courage, talk to him before he leaves. I already did not too long ago, Donovan said, his tone softening. He seems more at peace with your family than he ever was with me. But I could use your help, Wednesday. Something's wrong here. She turned away, not wanting to get dragged into Tyler's family drama when she had her own. Just be careful, he called after her. The birds, they're always watching. Wednesday stopped, glancing upward. The trees were full of crows, silent, motionless, every beady eye fixed on her. Thing tapped her shoulder and signed nervously. Then she walked on, black shoes crunching through a carpet of feathers. The moonlight filtered through the tall windows, silvering the strings of Wednesday's cello as her bow moved with deliberate precision. The haunting melody filled the empty room, low and aching, like something clawing to escape from beneath the floorboards. When the final note lingered and fell silent, a soft clap echoed from the doorway. A woman stepped inside, her heels clicking sharply against the marble floor. Miss Capri, the new head of music. Wednesday turned slightly, her expression unreadable. Is this the same Miss Capri who completed her album at the age of 10? Miss Capri smiled faintly. We have our work cut out for us, Miss Addams, she said, walking closer. My hand stiff, Wednesday replied. No, your hand wasn't the problem. Your pain was the only thing that made your performance interesting, Miss Capri said, her tone equal parts critique and compliment. I want to know about your history with Hydes, Wednesday said, dropping the pleasantries. Is this about Tyler Galpin? Principal Dort gave me the heads up earlier today, Miss Capri said. But you do realize that I can't do anything to mentor him. All I can do is impart to you what I know from my own experience. I hope you'd offer better insight than hypotheses and theories in books, Wednesday said as she stared at her. I'll see what I can do, Miss Capri replied. And just like that, the two formed an unspoken understanding. Chapter 62. Pugsley and Eugene walked over to Tyler as he watched the Da Vincis build a massive bonfire in the shape of a phoenix. Tyler, there you are. You want to help us find a dead body? Pugsley called out, jogging toward him. Tyler paused, giving him a flat look. What? Eugene jumped in. He wants to sneak out during the bonfire to find the skull tree, where a dead kid's supposed to be buried. Didn't you have enough of digging up corpses over the summer? Tyler asked, his tone tired. You don't understand, this kid was said to have a mechanical heart, Pugsley said eagerly. Pugsley, in case you've forgotten, I killed most of the dead bodies found around Jericho. I don't want to be blamed for another one, and 'cause your sister more trouble, Tyler said. That sounds fun. Can we come? Xavier asked, walking over with Ajax. I'd normally be against that, Ajax said, but you'll just do it anyway, so count me in. By the way, Xavier said, still not looking at Tyler, why are you even still here? The principal asked Mrs. Addams to head the fundraising gala. So, we're staying until it ends, Tyler replied evenly. Xavier snorted. And what's that got to do with you? Don't you have a car? Leave. We used the same car to get here, Tyler said, unfazed. Then take the bus, wherever you live now, Xavier shot back. I've been living with Wednesday and her family since last year, unfortunately, Tyler said, smiling faintly. Xavier's expression shifted, smugness draining into something tighter, quieter. He took one long look at Tyler, neat in his business casual suit, then turned sharply and stormed off. You look good, man, Ajax said before following him. Tyler turned to Pugsley and Eugene. Fine. I'll tag along, if Wednesday doesn't have plans for tonight. While Tyler was still talking with Pugsley and Eugene, Wednesday discovered that her manuscript had been stolen, by her stalker, and was about to be burned during the bonfire. She and Enid sprinted across the fields toward the towering pyre already glowing in the distance. By the time they reached the courtyard, the night was alive with cheers and flickering light. Wednesday didn't hesitate, she ran straight into the massive pile of wood, shoving aside splinters and ashes in search of her manuscript. Wednesday. What's going on? Tyler shouted, running toward her. Before he could reach her, Enid grabbed his arm, breathless. Her manuscript, someone stole it. They're about to burn it. Tyler's face paled. The principal raised his hand above the crowd, conjuring a small sphere of flame. Wait! Enid screamed. The fireball struck the pile. Flames roared to life instantly. Tyler didn't think, he ran into the blaze. The heat hit him like a wall, but he pushed through, catching sight of Wednesday tearing through the burning wood. He grabbed her arm, dragging her out just as the fire surged upward. Her uniform was singed, and the edge of her manuscript was blackened. She stared at the scorched pages with quiet fury. Then, as if mocking her, Principal Dort called from the stage. And now, in honor of our saviors, Miss Addams and her classmates. The crowd parted as a large portrait of Wednesday and her friends was unveiled. The applause barely started before Wednesday snatched a torch from the nearest stand and set it ablaze. The portrait burned instantly. The crowd gasped. Wednesday dropped the torch and walked away, her face unreadable. Enid and Tyler ran after her. Wednesday, wait. When Tyler grabbed her arm, the world stopped. The roar of the bonfire fell silent, the crackle of burning wood replaced by a faint hum that vibrated beneath her skin. Her pupils dilated, black spilling into white as the firelight warped around her. Then, darkness. She was standing in the Nevermore graveyard. The moon was swollen and light cutting through the fog like a blade. Crows lined the crooked tombstones, silent and unmoving. The air smelled of wet earth and smoke. At first, she saw only one grave, Francois Galpin. The soil was fresh, the stone still unpolished. Then another name carved in granite beside it, Donovan Galpin. Her gaze shifted to the third. The inscription made her stomach turn. Enid Sinclair. Tyler stood before them, motionless, his clothes drenched in shadow. The crows began to move, slowly at first, then frantically, swarming around him in a black spiral. Their cries echoed like laughter and grief tangled together. Wednesday tried to speak but no sound came out. Her throat burned as she took a step forward, the ground sinking beneath her feet. Then Enid appeared. Her skin was pale as candle wax, her eyes lifeless but glistening with tears. Ash clung to her hair. When she opened her mouth, her voice was a whisper carried by the wind. I died because of you. The crows exploded into the air all at once, blotting out the moon. Their wings beat so violently that the ground itself seemed to shake. Tyler held Wednesday in his arms as she shook violently as black tears streamed down her face.